Hello and welcome back to CBD Food Network. I'm your host Sharne, and today we're going to be making one pot pasta using Dreambird CBD, and the link for this product is in the description below. So let's get started. Okay, now to start, here are the ingredients we're going to need. So we're going to need some pasta, some tomato sauce. This is plain. I have about one onion chopped, not square, but chopped. And then we have some baby spinach. We've got some red and green bell pepper. Vegetables, in terms of vegetables, you can use whatever you like. These are just the ones that I'm going to be using today. And then we have some basil for garnishing and for flavor, so you can have a good amount. And then we have some parmesan. We have about 3 tablespoons of butter. This is unsalted. We have salt. We have oregano. We have sugar to counteract the tartness of the tomato sauce. We have about half a cluster of the garlic chopped, and then we have some cinnamon, and I almost forgot, we have some half and half. And last but not least, we have Dreambird CBD. Okay, by the way, I forgot to mention earlier that you're gonna need some water. I have some here, about 2 cups you're gonna need to actually cook the pasta. This is a 1-pan pasta, which is my favorite because you don't need anything else aside from just this 1 pan. Okay, so let's get started. First and foremost, we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm just going to let this melt nicely. I don't know why I didn't separate them, but alright, it'll melt nicely. Okay, and to that, I'm actually going to add the oregano. My reasoning for this is that since butter is a fat, and any kind of herb that you add to fat the butter helps the herb release flavor. So like in Indian cooking, for example, they use a lot of herbs and things or spices when they start a dish. So it just helps to flavor the dish better. So I don't need to cook this, I just kind of wanted to infuse it a little bit. Now that you see the little bubbles coming up, we're ready to add the garlic. Alright, just gonna add the whole thing. This is about half a cluster. I love garlic. I feel like I can add a lot more than this, but I do want to make sure that whoever's recreating this dish is not going to hate the dish because there's too much garlic in it. But this is a good amount. Alright, so I'm gonna actually let this golden a little bit. I like it when it starts to smell like roasting garlic. It's the best. Alright, so now I'm going to actually add the onions. There we go. Also, my stove is on medium-high, just so you guys know the temperature. And I'm actually going to turn it up just a tiny bit, just because the onions, they take some time to get golden, and I need them to be kind of golden. So my observance, or you can say like what I've observed while cooking, is whenever I let like these base ingredients golden brown, it always tastes better, and I think that's because it has more time to develop flavor with the heat. So I like the onion and the garlic to be kind of golden, not in like thoroughly golden, but golden on the edges, and you know, when it looks yummy. So now that it's getting nice and golden, you see how it's not golden all the way through, but you can see that it's starting to get, you know, that caramelized look. Okay, so this is flavor right here, and that's where I'm going to be adding the bell peppers. So get that flavor in there. This is all flavor. And I'm going to do the same thing with this. I want the vegetables that I added, like the green bell peppers and the red bell peppers, to release some juices and get nice and not golden, but like this, like how the onions are, the edges. Okay. Alright, so now we're kind of coming to a stage where you can see like the bell peppers have definitely caramelized. Not very much, but look, that's all flavor from the vegetables and the garlic and the onion. So that's going to be delicious when we add the liquid. Beautiful. Okay. So now to this, we are going to add our marinara sauce. Now this is about 1.5 cups of marinara sauce. Obviously, if you're cooking for less quantity, add less. Now, do you see how that flavor, all that flavor that was here, see, it's now going to be beautifully mixed in with the sauce. So nice. Okay, now we're gonna just wait for this to start simmering a little bit. And to that, as it simmers, I'm going to add a couple of things right now, actually. Oopsie. Okay, so this is salt. Going to add about 2 teaspoons, and this is about a tablespoon of sugar, so we're going to just add, I guess, like half of it, so half a tablespoon. Alright, now I'm going to go in with our cinnamon. And this is about 1 teaspoon. Now, cinnamon might seem a little strange in pasta, but because it's cold outside nowadays, and today it's raining, but it just warms the whole dish up. Now, cinnamon, yes, when you put it on cookies, it has a very, very specific taste because of the sugar. But when you put it in something savory, really what it does is it really like warms up the dish from the inside. Like you feel like you're eating something cozier, you know. It's very filling, not that other food isn't, but it's just, that's what it does. It creates a little bit of heat within the dish. So it's really nice in the wintertime. Okay, so now I am going to go in with, actually, before I do the half and half, I'm actually going to add some basil. I had chopped up some fresh basil, and this is maybe like, I want to say like 10 leaves. Just pluck them off if you have a plant, but if you don't have a plant, just about like maybe not 10 leaves, maybe like 10 small leaves, but like 5 good sturdy leaves, or however much you want, because some people don't even like basil. So if you don't want to add basil or you do want to add more basil, this is your call. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to leave this to simmer for about a minute so that the basil and all the vegetables and the marinara sauce and the salt and the sugar get time to intermingle. Now, I'm also going to turn the heat down just slightly. It's still medium high, but it's a little bit lower. And if it needs to be stirred, like where it's really bubbling, go ahead and stir it. But other areas, just kind of leave it. Okay, so now that it's been about a minute and a half really, I'm going to add the next ingredients. And so the next ingredient is some half and half. And this, just eyeball it. Use however much you need. I think for this dish, I'm gonna have to use about 2 tablespoons, but I might add a little bit more, just, I have to feel it, you know? Kind of see what the dish is demanding from you. Okay, so now that we added something that was on the colder side and it kind of cooled down what was cooking, so I go ahead and put the temperature a little bit higher. And that's another thing is you have to really watch the temperature. You don't want the cooking temperature to drop all of a sudden, which I just did right now. But definitely watch for that. Okay, so I think it needs a little bit more half and half. Personally, I like that like pinkish color in pasta sauce. All right. So I'm going to leave it this color because this is good. Now, before I cook it any further, I'm going to now start prepping for it to cook the pasta as well. So this is a 1-pan pasta. So next we're going to add our baby spinach. Dump that all in. Use as much as you can or as much as you can eat because baby spinach has a very, very mild flavor and it mixes really well with other things. So use as much as you can handle. Alright, now that's all in there. Now I'm going to actually add the pasta. So this is 1 packet. I go to Trader Joe's for my pasta, wherever you go. And I'll look up the name of what this pasta in particular is called. I just don't want to butcher the name. So I'm gonna have it in the recipe list. Actually, I can add all of it. All right. Now, oops, sorry about that. Okay, now I'm going to add the water. We added in. A little bit more. This is 2 cups. Okay, and now I'm going to actually just try to submerge. Oops, sorry. I'm going to just submerge the pasta a little bit. We're gonna cover this, so it's gonna cook, but I just want to submerge it a little bit. But if you can, if it's splashing or something, leave it. It's totally fine. We're going to cover this and let it cook for about 10 minutes. I'm also going to turn the heat down to just a solid medium and cover it up. We're good to go. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes. So we're gonna check this out. Be very careful. There's a lot of steam coming out. Okay. Yeah, so it's doing well. I'm just gonna add a couple of little ingredients here and there and then cover it back up, okay? So number 1 ingredient that I'm gonna add is the rest of our butter. In goes, that's 1 tablespoon. And then I'm also going to add some parmesan, so maybe half of it. That's fine. Okay. Now, very, very safely, please mix this. Okay, and now we're going to cover it and cook it for just a little bit longer. All right, let's cover this back up. So let's give it about 5 more minutes. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes. Now let's check on it again. So that's a lot of steam that comes out. All right. Okay, so it is ready. But what I'm gonna do is turn off the heat and put some more sheaths. Let's put the CBD in. So 1 full drop, or dropper. Again, if you want more, you can add more. But if you're going to be adding CBD to your cooking, I suggest not going like too crazy with adding or having to add so much, because you know, if you're adding it into different dishes, then you're eating CBD all day. Alright, so now I'm going to do one final thing, which is garnish. Turn off the heat and cover it up and leave it until you are ready to eat. So we're going to cover this back and we're done. So whenever you're ready to eat, take it out, enjoy it. That's all for today. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share. And if you want more, then do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.